What's new here in this new report is how foreign adversaries may have weaponized fake news. It's one thing to believe the worst about your political opponents. It's another to believe the worst about them and only find out later you were duped by a foreign campaign to distort the election. Now, add to that reality that the FBI is trying to figure out if Americans went along with this potential crime, and you have maybe one of the biggest developments in Washington this week, and that's even if you didn't see it shared on your social media feed. I'm honored to say that Greg Gordon joins us. He's co-author of the McClatchy story, as well as Kurt Bardella, a former advisor to Breitbart News and a former aide to Republican Darrell Issa. Kurt, take a listen here. I want to read from Greg's piece about how this worked. Russia using trolls, computer operatives pretending to be Trump supporters, posting these stories and comments on the internet, complimentary to Trump or disparaging to Clinton. Sources close to the inquiry now, this new federal inquiry, say those operatives likely worked from a facility in St. Petersburg, Russia, dedicated to that tactic. From your time working with Breitbart, do you think most folks working there had any idea something like this might be going on?
You know, it's tough to say really who knew what, if anything, and what type of collusion, if anything, happened like that was really going on. I think, if anything, all of this underscores the need why there needs to be an independent investigation looking at the totality of what the interference from Russia was, who was involved, who knew what when, what campaign officials within the Trump administration, then the Trump campaign, may have known about it or been interacting with anyone in Russia who was trying to propagate this type of attack on our democracy and our process. There's just so many unanswered questions, Ari, and there's nothing more sacred than our democratic process.
Right.
And the idea that this was so widely interfered with is incredibly troubling, and it's the one issue that we cannot allow to go unanswered and unaddressed, because this is the heart of what our country is about.
And before I go, Kurt, leaving, you know, your old boss or colleague or client, Steve Bannon in the news, you said here with regard to his approach to health care, that's the Bannon we know and love, hashtag dictator. Do you think he's showing dictatorial tendencies in the White House?
Yeah, I think everyone's finding out what a lot of us who've worked with him in the past have known for a very long time, and that Steve Bannon is a my way or the highway type of dictatorial figure. And I think, if anything, he's probably encouraging the president right now that the mistake along the way was not being more forceful, not being more going into people's faces, going into their districts during this healthcare discussion, rather than playing nice. Bannon's all about force and all about showing everyone what the consequences are if you don't fall in line. And I think that as we turn the page now to potentially tax reform and the debt ceiling showdown that's about to happen, you might see a much more forceful president in engaging some of these Republican detractors.
Greg and Kurt, thank you so much. You are watching The Point on MSNBC. You can tweet your questions, comments at the hashtag The Point. We're going to show more next.